Tuesday morning. It is September the 16th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. We'll talk about our local forecast in just a little bit. But first, the tropics are getting busy, my friends. We have two areas of interest now in the tropical Atlantic, one with a high likelihood of developing, the other with a low end chance, but still a chance. So let's start with this is Invest 92. Definitely looking better organized. I was on West 2 News Sunrise yesterday, and this did not look like this yesterday. So, to that point, we're definitely starting to see this trying to get its act together. Definitely trying to see this thing doing its thing, right? Frank, good morning to you. Kara, good morning. Kevin, good morning to you. Wendy, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, there you go. Area out in the open Atlantic, now with a high 90% chance of forming in the next 2 days' time. This is probably going to become our next name storm, and we're certainly going to be tracking that for you. All right, so there's the kind of pathway that the Hurricane Center says should be where it develops. The computer models, when we take a look at them, these are the just raw tropical models. All right, I'll bring them full for you just to give you an idea. And I don't want to say they're all over the place because that's not the case. They're there basically northwest, and then kind of afterward they feather out. The ensemble plots, this is the GFS. We don't get a European ensemble plot until we have a tropical depression. So essentially the ensemble plots are a little different than what we see with the tropical models in that it's a little more of a north, then west, then recurve, whereas the tropical models are kind of like a west northwest. But either way, none of these are threatening Florida now. That's just because it's as far out as it is. But it's important to note that this invest is something to watch because it's so far out. All right. So there's where it is right now. There's the satellite imagery just to give you perspective in terms of its intensity models. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Give me a second to type the words. Here's what the intensity models are showing. Okay. For now, obviously, it's weak. We do think it will get to tropical storm status. And then from there, the computer models are trying to take this, in some cases, to hurricane status. You could see by Saturday, Sunday, some of those model members are bringing it into category 1 status. So definitely something to watch, definitely something to keep an eye on. But do I think that this is going to be a major threat to the United States? At the moment, the good news is I do not. When we look at those ensemble products, they are very clear showing that this should recurve. This should stay away from us. Okay, so that's the good news. Oliver's asking, is this still hinting at a recurve? It is. As of right now, that's what everything is showing down the road. And we'll look at the global deterministic models and we'll also look at the global ensemble models. And I would also add that today we are doing our Tracking the Tropics Tuesday. Jeremy Nelson and I at 10 a.m. every Tuesday host a Tracking the Tropics show where we go very in depth with things. Of course, on Coffee Talk, we do the same thing, but I digress. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Roxanne says, not those time, Florida, not those time, not this time, Florida impact. Is that what you're trying to say? No, the planning on this does not show Florida impacts. Okay, so that's the good news. So let's do this. Let's just pop right up and let's get right over to some of the global models. Okay, here's the GFS, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up to the wide shot, the Atlantic Basin shot. Okay, and there it is. Okay, as it's developing, it's forming. But I also want you to notice, kind of like, look how the GFS is showing another wave like right behind it, and then bottom right corner, yet another wave. Okay, so much smaller, but I do want to point out there are several targets here that we're watching. Now, I've seen on social where people are like, hurricane forming, another one behind it. I guess it's all about choosing your words. We have to be very careful in how we choose our words because we don't know what's forming yet. We're just watching the basin. It's the peak of hurricane season. That's the way this goes. So anyway, all right. Continuing it through time, there's September 23rd, so that's a week from today. There is what would be Invest 92 becoming perhaps Gabrielle. Recurving, getting awful close to Bermuda. Draw your attention to where that dot is there. 65 west and about 32, 33 north. That's Bermuda. That recurves. And then again, 250 hours out, the GFS wants to do something in the Gulf. We'll see if that plays out. But that's about it, at least locally. If we go back out to the wide view, watch how. Let's just rewinding, right? So there's Invest 92 becoming Gabrielle, another wave behind it. Gabrielle recurves. The wave behind it kind of succumbs to dry air and wind shear. And then at the very end, there's another wave coming off the coast of Africa. Okay, so the GFS does have a couple of different things. What I want to make sure you all do is when we watch the tropics here, just know that this is the peak season. Typically, we're tracking two, three, four systems at the same time. So if somebody's like very active, yeah, it's the peak of the season. That's the way it's supposed to be climatologically. I just want to control your anxiety because the tropics can get very worrisome, right? All right, European. Back to the central, and there's Invest 92 trying to form. Staying north, it looks like, of the Antilles. And there's that next wave perhaps trying to form as well. Gabrielle looks like it's becoming a hurricane. And then as it recurves, the Euro wants to keep this next one a little stronger and kind of stalls it out a bit before curving it even earlier. So the GFS wants to kill this next one, whereas the Euro wants to keep it, but keep it out to sea. That's fine with me. I don't mind hurricanes as long as they stay out to sea. Now, if we go 250 hours out, remember, 250 hours out, the GFS had something in the Gulf. The Euro does not. Okay, so that's the difference there. So let's look at some of the ensemble plots together. GFS ensembles. I'm going to keep it close, just for intents and purposes. So there's Gabrielle. Um, there's a couple of ensemble members trying to do something in the Gulf, but essentially it's all about Gabrielle there, so that's fine. Euro ensembles. Yeah, I mean, you can see them widening out. And what's interesting is the Euro ensembles, at least a little bit, are showing something in the Gulf. So there's some ensemblage there. So this is something we're absolutely going to dive deeper into on Coffee Talk, or excuse me, on Tracking the Tropics coming up at 10 a.m. with Jeremy Nelson. But at least at the moment, there are two areas to track in the tropics, none of which for now are a threat to the United States, none of which are a threat to Florida. So we're going to track them. We're going to keep our eyes on them, okay? Before I move local, questions, comments, concerns that you may have, want to make sure to get y'all taken care of, right? Matt says September 16th, and this is the tropical picture. I'll take it. Exactly right. Chris asks on Twitter, that's something in the Gulf. Is the GFS's way of saying there's a cold front on the way? BSR could be. Yeah, it could be that it's over analyzing the vorticity off of that. So it's definitely a possibility there. Guy has the only thing I'm hyped for is the UCF Chapel Bill game. That's funny. I saw some really funny memes online about it yesterday. I'm excited about the game too. I'll be there. Let's see here. Matt says, leaving the country. Please keep Florida safe until I get back. Putting that onus on me is a lot of responsibility. Scott on YouTube. Don't think the U.S. and even the Caribbean will get hit by a hurricane this season. Hey, man, I'm nothing is off the table. Just because we're looking good right now, and I hope we continue to look good, you don't know. How is this impacting the next 7 day forecast? Ryan, for now, there are no impact. It's not developing into a threat for us right now. That's what we're looking at. So that's good. Frank says, how about those Bucks? 2-0, I'll take it. Mickey Smith, the 00Z Euro AI was hinting at something in the Gulf. Sure. I mean, I was just looking at current runs if we go searching run to run to run, you're going to find the ebbs and the flows. But, again, I was just looking at the current runs of things. Gabrielle on YouTube, I'm thankful for the much, much more beautiful weather we are having. It's been nice to get outside. Well, and even that's going to start adjusting a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get to our local forecast here in a minute, right? With the rip currents, does it make the water cooler? Gail's asking. Rip currents are so localized, you've got to look so broad when it comes to water temperature adjustments, right? But seasonally, we will eventually start to drop the water temperatures. Mike says Mother Nature's always really unpredictable. And that's my job. You're not going to be perfect at it, right? Debbie says, is this the longest time the Atlantic has been quiet during the peak of season? I mean, I'd have to go back and look at some climatology. Remember, meteorologist, not climatologist. I do dig through climate data and history, but my primary job and my primary area of study, the primary thing I do, is look ahead. So I do like to get climatology, but if I have time to do it, I do it. Catherine says if you torture the numbers long enough, eventually they'll show you what you're looking for. For now, we look at the trends. That's it. Yeah, you torture the data enough, it'll give. Right? Exactly. Oh, Janice says you got COVID. I'm sorry. I hope you're feeling better. Terry Ann says, I sure hope they all keep recurving away. Absolutely agreed with you. Yeah. Yeah, me too. I mean, water temperatures are still warm enough for tropical development. Absolutely, absolutely. The question is, where do they go? And for now, things are looking good. But this is healthy. This is healthy, right? So, um, Invest 92 is probably going to want to develop into something, and that's kind of what the intensity models are showing, right? The intensity models are showing that eventually it becomes something. Again, you look at the intensity models, and that's like Thursday, Friday, kind of getting into that tropical storm range. So, yeah. Let's see here. Would it be wonderful if Florida had no impacts this year? Of course, that's the goal, right? Guy says, "Don't worry, we still have October and November coming." I know. I know, right? Ugh. So, anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now, tropically speaking. We've got the two areas of interest, no direct threats to us, and instead we're kind of sitting here enjoying this beautiful weather. Counting down to fall, if I may. 6 days until the start of fall. The autumnal equinox is September the 22nd at 2:19 p.m. That feels great, right? Yeah. All right, let's look outside, see how things are doing this morning. Okay. Tower Cam Network. Looking over to Port Canaveral, it is a beautiful morning. Just so much sunshine. Couple of clouds over top. First warning live, Doppler radar. We have had a few showers. Let's come into southern Brevard County where some of those showers have been around. And what's so interesting is it's kind of been just pulsing like right in this spot. Little area of convergence, literally Solway Drive, Lakeview Drive, Turtle Bay Place, Cove Road, like that spot right there, right? That's where it's been. The rest of town, we have been quiet, right? So again, back out to the wide shot, we see some of those showers off the shoreline, but that's it. Temperatures out the door, fantastic. Not necessarily as fantastic as yesterday, but fantastic nonetheless. 75 in Orlando, 66 outside in Ocala, 66 in Palm Coast, 72 in Daytona Beach, and 73 in Palm Bay. So, forecast then for today brings those temperatures on up. We're headed to 90. Oh, no, KK. Kellyanne did it. Are we really going to hit 90 today, Kellyanne? This is an emotional loss. Frank says, thanks for keeping the forecast real. All these other meteorologists make a forecast but forget to mention directions, make people question. Well, look, I can't speak to anybody else. I appreciate the kind words, Frank. I'll always try to not only earn your trust but keep your trust. That's my whole thing. Oh man, oh man. That's right, Beverly. October means the start of a new cycle. That's it. Go UCF. Tiffany on Facebook says it's freezing here in Ocala, right? It was even cooler yesterday. But today we hit 90 in Orlando. There's a 20% chance of a few passing showers. Chris says, well, maybe we'll only get to 89.4. I know. Catherine says, can we keep lying to ourselves and keep this fake fall? It's been so wonderful. I know. I know. Here's our high temperature map for today. I'm not the forecaster, so this is Kellyanne. So we can blame KK for throwing 90 back on the 7 day. I have no problems doing that. I just know my 7 day yesterday kept 90s off there. Just know that. Oh man, we did it. She put it back. I wish she didn't, but she put it back. Now, the muggy meter is adjusting these next couple of days. It was great this morning. It's going to be great tomorrow morning, but we're back to humid territory by Thursday and Friday. And as a matter of fact, looking at the 7 day forecast, you'll see that on Thursday and Friday, we also really start ramping up the rain chances, right? Notice today, 20% coverage. Boo for putting that 90 on there. Tomorrow, Thursday, rain chances tick up a smidge. And then, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to the humidity, back to the warmth, back to the thunderstorms. So, as I was saying last week and even through yesterday morning, like that, this has been an NBC News special report. No, this has been fake fall number one. It's been great. 90s are back, humidity will be coming back, all of that stuff. I know. Diane says just because it was predicted doesn't mean we will hit it. That's true. I can't knock you for that. That's true. Oh man. Dag nabbit. Janice. I love how you guys are like trying to like talk me down. KK has to do her job. I know. I know. Matt's asking, when is Kellyanne going to make an appearance on the Coffee Talk drive-through? I think I'm going to need to get Kellyanne to make an appearance here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I was actually chatting with her. Ironically, I was chatting with her about that the other day. So, Monday of this week. So yeah, we'll have to make that happen, Matt. Tim, when are we getting new? I don't know what you're talking about on the 25th at noon. Sonia on YouTube says, I wish Comfy would stay. I know. I know. I know. Please no lightning delays on Saturday. Dude, right? I know. Correct. I don't want that either. I really don't want to deal with that. Oh man. Victoria, thank you. I appreciate you. Diane, hard to believe about 1 year ago we were concerned with tracking Helene. This has been wonderful. Let's just keep this going. This has been just wonderful. I think we're very fortunate to have had the weather we have had up to this point, Terry. And agreed. There's no guarantees it's going to continue. So you're right. You're right. Yay for new. I don't know what you're talking about, Tara. The upside on the fake fall that makes the grass slow down on its growing. My grass looks gorgeous. Yeah. Walter, show us the models. I already did, buddy. The 25th is a sea day on my next cruise. It'll be hard to watch for. Well, Tim, sounds like somebody's gonna have to buy the internet package. No, it's fine. I mean, we'll be. I'm not saying anything's happening on that day. All I'm saying though is that it'll be around for a while, so it's okay. What does the fall trend look like? Well, there's your 7 day forecast. If we expand beyond that, this is just the GFS temperatures. Yeah. Patricia, are you good with your glasses? I think I'm as good with my glasses I'm gonna get with these things. You know what I mean? I think this is what it is. I like them. It's just it took some getting used to. I'm definitely way better than I was. Yeah. Althea's asking when is the end of hurricane season? The end of November. So listen, there's still plenty of time to go for hurricane season. Plenty, 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 plenty of time. Chris is asking about Futurecast. I gotcha. All right, stand by. Futurecast is not that exciting today, which is great. All right, here's Futurecast for today. Beautiful sunshine. Pop goes the weasel. Couple sprinkles around lunchtime. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. A few showers. Working off to the east. That's it. So yeah, we're looking good. We are looking good. I'll take that. My mentor Tom would say better than a sharp poke in the eye, right? Let's see here. Did you get the progressive headache? I did have a headache, come to think of it. I just thought it was me holding my euphonium because I'm getting old. Tim, new graphics of Coffee Talk on the 26th. When do we get merch with the new graphics? Whoa! Who's saying anything about that? Um, yeah, I guess I need to work on some things. Wow. This is gonna go away. Changes? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. John says boring works. Hey man, listen. It's fine with me. Welcome to Trifocal Trends. I need them every day. Yeah, I like them. I like them. Rachel, merch, we have merch. We do not have merch. I We've talked about it for a long time. I need to one of these days I'll have to talk with the boss. The only way I will ever do it is if it is directly tied to charity. Obviously, I'm not here. I am, as I've said for years, like I am grateful to be employed by Wesh too. I am not here to make any money off of you all. I am here. We use each other in a beautiful way. We wake up, cheer each other up, right? You ask the forecast questions. I look at the weather. I answer the forecast questions. I learn what you want to know. So I love what we have. So I don't ever want to mess with that. Make sure the progressive line is right. You shouldn't have to lift your head to read. I don't think I am. No, I don't think so. Thankfully, you don't know state secrets. You're terrible. uh, keeps me honest. Eric Burris, fund for the caffeination of meteorological professionals. Trends are friends shirt. It's all about I just don't ever want you to think that I'm here to make money off of you guys, right? Like I'm grateful to have a job. I don't ever want to jeopardize that. So, yeah. Lisa says I love coffee talk. I don't watch the news in the morning, but I'm always up for what the weather's going to be like. And this forum is awesome. Lisa, I appreciate you. Watch the news every now and then. I'm there too. Tara says, yes, I would buy merchandise. I would buy merch and money goes to the charity of your choice. That's all. I would only want to do things for charity, for, like the American Red Cross that I've been so involved in, things like that. That's all. That's all. Will you wear a costume on Halloween for coffee talk? I feel like I would wear a costume and share it with you that I'm doing with like the kids. But Natasha, is a front coming down this weekend into next weekend, hence why the rain is coming back. No, the moisture is returning. I mean, if you look at just the raw temperatures off of the GFS, there's not there's not any cooling. Cindy says, since you're not the forecaster, the coast will probably not up. It didn't get updated. I looked. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's not you trying to make money. It's us trying to brag that we're OG coffee. I appreciate y'all. Well, I have to talk to the boss. I would love that. It would be fun to do something like that. Yeah. Lori, out of state girl here, coming in on Thursday for a family trip to Orlando and have not so scary party tickets at the Magic Kingdom Friday. Is the rain chances in the evening or late night on Friday? All right, well, let's look together just to kind of get an idea. I'm going to dial up Futurecast. I don't know that it'll go, it won't actually. So let's do this. So this is kind of our long range Futurecast. It's not perfect, but at least it'll give us an idea. All right, so Thursday, let's just dial through here. I've got it wider because it's a lower resolution grid. All right. So Friday, a couple coastal showers into the Friday afternoon, showers around, but it looks like by 8 o'clock it's just about done. So yeah, I think you're going to be just fine. At least that's the way things are looking for now. So gotta love that, right? Coffee talk mugs would be great. We'll have to get. Yeah, I have to get something. We have too much fun to worry about merchandise, but it would be nice to have a mug. And I think like I've talked to the boss about it. Then she's just so busy. One of these days we'll have to do it. But I don't ever want to push my boss, and I don't ever want to push. When you get money involved, it messes with things, and I don't ever want to be like, hey, and here's the merchandise you can buy, benefiting charity. I don't want to do that. I don't want to ask you for anything. Genuinely, I just want you to know I'm here for you, right? I want you to know that I'm here for you. Period. That that's where I'm at. I want you to know I am not here for any other reason than genuinely here for you. I'm here to look at the weather data and share it with you together. So that's where I'm at. You know, we have to do it amongst ourselves and leave Eric out of it, Cheryl says. There's that. As long as it goes to charity. I don't want anybody making any money. Betty says, we do not need merch. We just need it. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Um, Mike says, you're correct, Eric. Totally get your vibe about the merchandise. That's it. You know? The ghosted woman says, I mean, we can always do it ourselves. Trends are friends isn't trademarked. It's true. All I would ask is donate the money, all of it. But see, then it's like, but then it gets to like, somebody does something wrong and they're profiting on you all, and then I start feeling bad. That's where it's just like, I don't, money, you know, this like I know they always say don't mix business with pleasure, and this technically like I work in weather, so this is technically business, but like it's not. I'm not today. I'm off. Today's my off day, and here we are, right? And so like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm also just an awkward person, like genuinely, so there's that also. But I digress. Like meet me in person. You'll see how awkward. Ugh. That's understandable to not deal with merchandise. Like, I don't know. I would buy a shirt that says I and Eric. We should. I said, Kevin, what? I'm awkward. Anyway, all right. Questions, comments, concerns about the weather, y'all. Christian's asking tropical update and the Carolina low update. Did tropics right off the top. There are two areas, and I'll pop it up again. There are two areas that we are watching, and I would also add at 10 o'clock, Jeremy Nelson and I will do our tracking the tropics. Carolina low I mean, that is an interesting little feature. It's non-tropical in nature. Give me a second. I'll dial a couple things. Pop over here. Hold on a second. Stop. Stop. Come on. Yeah, this is an interesting little feature here. Give it a second to go buffer the data. If it's 8 a.m., we're listening to Eric. I Gavalt, you guys. Yeah, so non-tropical low, but it's an interesting little feature off the coastline there. Use red bubble and set profit to zero if what is red bubble? See, I don't know any of these things. I met you. Tim says I met you at the Charlotte airport. It wasn't awkward. Well, I'm an awkward person, but no, meeting you at the Charlotte airport was so randomly fun. It was not even. It was hilarious. Nikki, have to go to UCF with it. Go have fun. Lisa, okay, I'm convinced as much as I adore this whole coffee talk vibe. You are right. Let's not do merchandise for now. Stay being the one. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You won't be true, only awkward. You aren't awkward, just fun. I appreciate you. Patty, how's sweet Stella doing? She's good, but kidney disease, and she's 15, and you know how all that stuff works. You know what I mean? How is Sail Away for Sunday leaving on Star of the Seas? Oh, take me with you. I want to go on Star of the Seas. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of rain around on Sunday, but nothing more than the norm. So I think you're going to be looking pretty good. All right. Zeb says we miss you at the games. I still go. I've been trying to get to do the forecast but like they just don't seem to have any appetite for it. So, okay, I can only try so much, you know? Okay. All right, it's 8:30. That's it for coffee talk. But 10 a.m. today, Tracking the Tropics. Okay, Tracking the Tropics Tuesday. Jeremy Nelson and I will have you covered, getting all the things handled. Okay, sound good? All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for coffee talk. I'll see y'all later. Bye.